Welcome. My name's Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne in Australia, and it's just turned five, just after 5 a.m. on a Wednesday here for me. Tuesday for you, Tom. Right. Let me.
Hi, Brian.
Yeah. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. You're sharing some interesting stuff there, Tom. Crazy gear going on there, mate.
Yep,
You warned us.
I know. I wasn't joking.
No, 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 not at all. No, it's crazy. So welcome to the Select FOREX analysis session. Just note that any trades discussed in this group are to be classed purely as educational only. That's because a group of people helping each other, and we are not financial advisors. There is a full risk disclosure and a little bit about us as live session traders. Yes, some craziness, eh? Craziness.
Yep.
Anyway, well, some of the things that come out of their mouths, like, wow, there's just such a divide, isn't it? It's
Yes, a divide is what you could call it.
Do you think that sort of what's happening here is that there's sort of two major parties, but there's also this push by the people, by the actual country, the voters, because it's interesting here, we all have to vote. If we don't vote, we get fined. So everybody in the country actually votes, um, except for the drop kicks and all the rest of it. But it is in theory, it is the majority of people that actually vote.
What's a drop kick?
Drop kick. Uh, that's it. Um, Somebody who doesn't want to know about politics, or doesn't care about stuff, or doesn't care about anybody else, or just just a somebody who's not, I suppose, not involved or doesn't really care and doesn't care about anybody else. Um,
Oh,
Sort of
okay.
a bit of
I've
a
I've
sort of a
never heard that expression before.
well, we use that here. It's sort of a waste of space, or I suppose, or whatever.
We call those Republicans.
But you see, that's the thing. There is this one or the other in USA. But here it's sort of like there is a push now for what are called teals or independents. And there are actually independent. There's actually quite a few um, in Parliament now. There's a growing number of independents, and I seem to think there might be more at this election as well. They get sort of private funding and can then push what their electorate's wanting, not what the party wants. So, and they sort of get together as a collective to decide. It's quite interesting. Anyway, welcome, Darren. Uh,
Hey,
Nothing
Darren.
much.
Oh,
We didn't
evening.
we didn't see a big move from the RBA lowering rates. It was a bit of
Yeah,
a
I was
non-event.
expecting a jump or something.
Yeah, no, nothing. Not a non-event, and just quite interesting. Well, the market expected it. There was a whole lot of, and it's been, this is the first rate cut since I think it was November 2013, 23, sorry. So it's been a fair period of time. And I'm pretty sure there'll be an election called now here. So because of that, the government's sort of hanging their hat saying, look at everything we've done. Now we're giving you some relief, which is not them anyway, because independent body. Right. AUD CAD. Still nothing anywhere, still sitting in the middle. That's okay. We didn't get a push up. It's not giving us any opportunity for a sell out. AUD CHF. Um, and the interesting ones are the US dollar at the moment. So AUD CHF tends to not go out to rails. If it does, there's a nice pullback, but it's not sort of in any situation for a trade on that. AUD JPY came out of the rails. No triangle. pushed up, gave us a long, so Darren and or I didn't take that trade. But it's pulling back down again. So AUD and that's the rate decision there. That was the only one that sort of made quite a substantial jump against New Zealand dollar. So it's the only really one that's given us anything. But it's still sitting in the middle. If we can get it to the outside rail and get a sell back out. AUD Singapore. Again, we're pushing up towards the top rail. No triangle out the bottom there. We did have a longer change of trend bar. So AUD USD. There was a pullback. So it is becoming closer to the rail, but this the US dollar looks like it's strengthening up a bit, and we'll wait till we get down to the US pairs, but we'll see. That was the one that was an unfortunate loss because of this big spike down here. Darren?
Yeah.
Right. So that's all AUDs. Really nothing much happening there with any of those pairs as such. They're still just sort of languishing around. CAD CHF. Again, this is not one for, again, there's no triangle out here. Wasn't a pair to take. And even if it was, there would have been quite a large stop loss, which would have just killed off any sort of profit potential. CAD JPY. Again, no triangle down here, push up, back down here. It hasn't, it sort of has matched out that long at the moment. It hasn't come down further. These are now the JPYs that they're a bit fickle, aren't they, Darren? They're doing that pullback. We've got no way of knowing whether they'll continue the trend or they'll come down and break out the lows like UJ did. All right, CHF JPY. But then again, no, Darren, it is a question though, isn't it? It's like at a point in time when something a pair has price outside or a candle outside of the rail, it has a triangle, it has a trend bar change, it has a long, all of those things, you're probably crazy not to take it. Yeah?
Yeah. Ticks all the boxes. Not
Correct.
for me.
Yeah. And for me as well, I don't really need the long, but then again, that's just an extra bit of confirmation for me in that respect. And it doesn't have to necessarily go all the way out. But I'm in this trade. So it has pulled back. We'll just, last 24 hours hasn't really done much. We are on my Wednesday, but your Tuesday going into Wednesday. So sometimes we get that sort of change of direction back again or whatever. We'll just see what happens. Where am I with them? Hang on. Yeah, everything's negative except, well, in drawdown to a certain extent, except for British pound, Japanese yen. And I'm still in 10 trades. So actually 5 trades twice, if that makes sense. So now getting into the euros. Euro AUD. Yeah, it's not hard to check in these. Euro AUD is now, did a pullback. It's now pushing back down again. That's the sort of thing you want, though, isn't it, Darren? Oh no, you got yeah. you're still in this trade, I think you said, or you
Uh,
took half
no,
or
I
three.
took half out at the 3/4
Oh,
mark.
and then it spiked back up. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, you're not in. Okay, you're okay. And there's nothing there for us at the moment. It hasn't come to the extreme of the rail, which is different for Tom. Like he might be taking trades in the middle of wherever because of a different process. Again, this one
I'm in
pushed
this
up.
one. I'm
Yeah,
in this
you're
for
in.
the short, and then I'm waiting for a small pullback back into my zone, and then I have a second trade set up for a further push down.
Yeah,
And then when that pushes down into the rail, it's going to pull back up to the 3/4 somewhere. I'm going to get a third trade out of it.
Eurocad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're in the cell. Yeah, yeah, lovely. Yeah, it did, as you said, it looks like it's finished that pullback and it's pushing back down now.
Mm-hmm. It's going to pull back
Lovely.
still a little.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay. And then for an opportunity of another trade.
Yep. So I'm
But
doing 3/4 of that short. So
okay.
go to the top of the wick to the
Yeah,
bottom with
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
fib.
Yep.
No, to the bottom.
Oh, to the bottom of where it is now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm in this trade now, and then I'm looking for this to pull back up to the 3/4 zone between the half and the 3/4, somewhere in there, and pick
Oh,
up a second trade.
right. Okay. Okay.
And if it pulls out of that 3/4 zone down into the half zone
Mhm.
and does another pullback to the 3/4 and then drops again into the quarter to the 0 zone, I'll pick up a third trade. And then if it pulls back up into the quarter to the 0 zone, I'll pick up a fourth trade, so
Yeah,
on and so
okay.
forth down.
Yeah, 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 because of the pullbacks and push down, pullback, push down. This could quite easily, though, which doesn't matter because you're in it, but this could quite easily come down and break that low, then pull up and then push back down too.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. And all those scenarios. So you've got whatever it's going to think it's going to do covered, which is good. Okay, Euro CHF. So yeah, sorry, I was going to say. So I put this down as a pink because it had come to here, and I thought, oh well, if it sort of pulled back a bit and then pushes back down, but it's not near the rail for us to get any trade out of it at this point. But Tom's still he's in it from this sort of push down. Okay, Euro CHF. Yeah, the CHFs are they tend to languish in the middle of the two outside rails, which makes it impossible to sort of get a trade out of it. Euro GBP. Oh, this is nice. So it's done that pullback. Now pushing back down. We'll see.
Beautiful.
If it makes it out the other side of the rail, it could do pullback as well, of course, before it does. But this is one that I'm watching at the moment. I haven't changed it from gold to the pink yet. Tend to pink, I tend to be watching a bit closer because it's potential trade. Euro JPY. I'm in this slightly negative because of where I took the trade. But again, this is just reinforcing Darren, the fact that we have a triangle, we have candle outside, we have trend bar change, we have a long. Hopefully these pullback bits are just pullback bits to not take out my stop loss will be here. Pull back before it pushes itself back up again. So these JPYs, little unpredictable little animals they are. So we will see. All right, Euro NZD. Oh, I'll come back to here. Sorry, Euro JPY. So I was thinking, it's not a good thing to think, I suppose. because trend bar has turned red here, in the event that, and you may not necessarily, but what I'm thinking is if we do actually not have a stop out on this, because it's two trades in relation to it, if we actually do get it, that it actually continues the trend up, except for where it is now, and we get a trend bar change back into a green, I'm seriously considering potentially entering another trade, not two, just one, to add to the. Unfortunately, that'll be three trades, and looking at that as a three-quarter trade. We'll see. Just been
So
contemplating.
you have one on there now, and
I've
you're
got
looking
two
at
trades.
putting on.
No, two trades. No,
So you have
no,
two
no.
trades on there now, and you're looking to put a third one on.
Correct, but only after I get confirmation of a buy continuation. And obviously, if it doesn't,
So what are you looking for? Another long?
No, I'm looking for a trend bar change.
Oh,
That's what I've been sort of just contemplating. May not. I may just go like, okay, let's observe it, and not do it. But I think it's worth to see. A
Well, you
bit
had
like
that.
what you, yeah,
I mean, it was a year or two ago where you were stacking trades.
yeah,
You're doing quite a lot of that, Brian.
yeah,
Seem to have quite a bit of success with that. Seem to remember.
yeah. We'll see. It just really depends on um, continuation or not, of the original trade. So what we've been doing, Darren, for probably a few weeks anyway, is actually taking two trades when the criteria is filled, and then of course, as well as I, there is predictably a pullback, and we go into some sort of potentially a bit of drawdown before a continuation in that direction happens. Now, UJ is a well, when we come to UJ, it's a little bit of a different example, and there was tended to be a short spike out on that one. But these other ones, the five, like EuroJ being one of the examples.
Well, you look at that.
Just
You look at that EJ cell. If you go just move over to the left when it
oh,
went
sorry,
out,
yep,
when it went out at the top of the rail there. So then we
yeah,
got a red triangle. We got a short. It
yeah,
then it then pulled back
yeah,
over the course of sort of three or four triangles,
drop,
which is what
pullback,
it's done now.
yeah.
Down, and then you get the big red cell candle again. That could have been opportunity to take another
Yeah, the only
trade,
thing
couldn't it?
the only thing, Darren, is that is different in respect that the trend bar, now looking at it, I don't know about then because it
Yeah.
could change, but that trend bar never changed
No, it didn't. No.
it didn't change from red to green. Where this is a different situation. This has gone from green to red. Now that may disappear. I don't know. I doubt, but then again, this had a pullback, but it didn't actually. It doesn't look like it changed the
Okay.
trend bar.
If you just go a bit further to the left, and then there was a buy, wasn't there? There was a buy up from outside the rail, and then there was the pullback and the long.
Yeah,
There's a change.
correct.
There was a change of
Yeah,
colour then, wasn't there?
yes, there was. There was a
It
little
changed
red,
red,
and
then
then it went
green,
green
another
again.
long, back in again.
So that's the sort of example. It doesn't have to be another long. I'm
No,
not, but there could be a short long. But that's the sort of example I'm talking about. Because it really, the thing I've been, thinking about a lot is, well, not a lot, but contemplating on it, is when this strategy fulfill or that it works positively in our favor, it works positively. There is no doubt on it. You have some situations like, for example, that AU and NU that you got, that it spiked, and that was just a freakish, some crazy person saying something crazy, and we can't predict. Well, we know that crazy people say crazy things, but we can't predict at what period, at what point in time they're going to be that extra crazy. So we can only really trade based upon what we see. So now this could quite easily come down and hit our stop loss. I mean, that's a possibility in trading. But if you have something like this, that long change, you see that never, even though that had a pullback over here where that did and made it to 3/4, because I'm still looking at 3/4, it didn't at that, like, I don't know if we go back, whether it changed to red and then back to green again. I don't know, but I can only sort of we'll know here anyway whether this disappears or stays as a bit of red in the trend bar. But it's just a thought of potentially, if we are confident, not we, I'll take the word. If I feel confident that this is a trade that will continue in that, just in a way, mechanically trading without emotion in it, then why wouldn't I be willing to actually have an additional trade even in relation to it? Maybe that's not sensible because we're maybe it's just not sensible, but I'm just looking at it as a potential possibility in relation to it, and we're dealing with JPY, so
Okay, but rather than basing it off just a trend bar change, why don't you use something that's grounded in fundamentals, like a fib from the high to the low? And if that comes back into your 25% zone at the bottom without breaking the bottom, look how it reacts out of that section to a new buy.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, it could do, Tom. You're right. So, well, that's a good
Doesn't it give you a
suggestion.
better foundation of no, not from there, right from that last short it just created, from there to there down at the bottom.
From that
Just
short. Oh no, this short here.
Yeah. From the top of that green wick.
Yeah, down to the bottom of that.
Down to the green bottom. So if it comes back down into that quarter zone.
Yeah.
And it turns green again on your trend bar, and it's going to push out, would that be the best way to say, now cool. I have an extra layer of confidence knowing that that's going to come into that zone, fail to break the bottom, and push out again, knowing the chances of it going back to the 3/4 at the top.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's just it is another thing. That's good. Thanks for pointing that out. But that is another layer of, again, what you're saying, confidence, and it's really having confidence in the actual strategy as such. Anyway, okay. Just a thought on that one. That's all.
You can move that fib. I was just pointing that out. Something that you may want to consider.
All fine. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. I'll just keep it on there just for the minute. But it's just a discussion and thoughts. Because if we are confident in this strategy, if I'm confident in this strategy, then there are times where you'll get knocked out, but there's also other times where it will produce some profitable results, and why not take advantage? That's all I'm saying. Okay, you're at NZD. Again, that's just a sideways movement for ages, and forget it. You're a Singapore. Why I'm saying forget it is not to say there's not a trade for someone else. It's just not a trade for us. Well, for me anyway, and potentially Darren. So this hasn't come outside, no green triangle, pushed up, it's more likely to push back down again. Euro USD seems to be dancing, made the 3/4 from that long, but put a yeah, again, there's a lot of chopping around here at the moment. It doesn't really want to make it to the outside of rail for some reason. It doesn't make the price higher or lower. It just shows so much uncertainty in the market at this point. They're really playing pretty cautious. Right. GA. Yeah, GA pushing back up again now. So it's around that middle anyway. That was good from a 3/4 on the second chance there, Darren. It was, at least you've got some profit.
So the other half, 50% is just is a break even, just sat in it at the moment.
Yeah, all safe, and you've got some profit in the bank.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right, GCAD. Did you get in on that short?
No,
Okay.
properly
Well,
clearly.
because it didn't come outside the
Yeah.
rail, didn't give us a triangle. Yeah, okay, no worries. That's fair enough too. Yeah, look, things are not really pushing out. I think you got 1, 2, 3 trades out of that, you were saying?
Yeah, the buy, the sell, and then the buy again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now under
very nice.
that would have been really nice under the new rules, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
profitable.
3/4 plus and
Yeah.
plus a full. Yeah, no, yeah.
Three consecutive occasions. The up,
You can't
down,
have
down.
everything though, Darren. Come on.
No.
You just, right. And I think this is in a way sort of a to give confidence again to this strategy of looking at something. I mean, this might be just something in isolation, but certainly that would have been very productive. Okay.
Yeah.
GBP CHF again, these CHFs are just, mulling around that middle still. It's now pushed up. It could pull back without coming to the rail. So just watch them. GBP JPY. Now this is the one I'm still the only one of the 5 JPYs that I'm still in. I was in 6 at UJ that knocked me out, and took you out, Darren, as well, didn't it? Now, this one's quite different in respect that we have triangle outside. We've got trend bar change. I got into the trade. It pushed up. It's pulled back, but the trend bar has not changed from being green, right? Has not changed from being green. And it's slightly pushing up now, right? And there is a little bit of news coming out. Oh, the unemployment rate did come out. It stayed the same. UK. Japanese balance of trade's up. Inflation rate is coming out tomorrow. Yeah. It's forecast to kick up a bit, which means that they probably won't lower interest rates much more than
This should
strengthen
the pound a bit.
strengthen up the pound. Yeah. But it just depends also. We've got inflation rate coming in for on the 20th. So that's in a couple of days. And what's that one? Consumer stuff for UK. So maybe it might sort of give us a bit of a GBP push, which would be nice, particularly in that trade. I have a TP at 3/4, and a second trade TP at the rail. But once it makes a 3/4, I'd move the stop loss to break even anyway. And we'll see. So that's that trade at the moment. GBP NZD. Just like GA, languishing in the middle. But again, this would have been under the new rules a good trade. Red triangles outside, short in the trade, down 3/4 profit, back. No, yeah, thank you, and not in any of this rubbish.
Yeah.
Right. GBP and Singapore, you're still in the buy on this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely. It is behaving nicely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now this is.
I like this one.
Yeah, this is an example of what I was talking about before in EJ or some of those. So for me, and what we can do is, we can do this, Tom. Go from that short up there down to that there. See how it poked up to half, came back down to quarter, and now pushed back up? I think that's what you were talking about, Tom, weren't you? If I am correct.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to take it off for a minute, just so less. So here is an example of potentially trend bar change and getting into another trade. I'm not saying anybody else does. It's just what I'm looking at.
I'm already in this.
Yeah, you'd be in it for the buy. Yeah. So outside, candles outside, beautiful trend bar change. I would have been in the long at the same time. So Darren and I would have clicked the mouse virtually at the same time in relation to a daily anyway. It's pushed up, pull back a bit, pushed up, pull back a bit to there. It's okay.
Well, I've moved the stop loss now to just below that.
Below here.
Yeah, now we've got the long, yeah. Now, I think I'd want to at least done that before I took another position, just to reduce my overall exposure. So I'd want to have at least pulled that stop loss up.
Oh, yeah.
Before I jumped in and took an extra position.
Good idea. Good idea. Yes.
Your stop loss was still down there. Then you take another position. You're on to sort of 3 risk, aren't you, instead of 2?
Yeah.
So I'd want some comfort
that you've brought your stop loss up to maybe somewhere around not quite break even, but at least you've minimized
not quite
that.
break even yet, but
yeah, okay. Tom, you were going to say something?
I didn't understand what he said. Can you guys explain that?
Oh, yeah, okay. So let me do this. If I take this and we do, that's not it. We do this and we do a long. Say, for example, this is for fill criteria. We've got triangle, we've got candles outside, we get a long. So at the long, somewhere here, it'll be somewhere here, there'll be a trade, right? And what, then before that long candle, which is sort of here, or you could have the stop loss further down. But I'll just leave it there for the moment. Then what happens is it does this sort of pullback thing, it goes into drawdown, it comes back up here, we get a trend bar change, we get another long, right? So before, if Darren would ever consider, and I'm not saying he needs to, but for me, which is a great idea that Darren has put this, I see a trend bar change here. I potentially would get into a second trade at that point. And so I'll show you what I mean. We put a long on there. So there's actually 2 trades there, right? And I'm going to put a stop loss here at the bottom of that. Even though the long's there, really what I should do is put it there. But probably, I don't know. It depends, right? We'll see. I would put this profit at, say, that 3/4, which is about there. And what Darren's saying is this original 2 trades he would move the stop losses up to there. So he's reducing the amount of loss at that point, and one of them would be at 3/4, and the other trade would still be up at the rail. That's what I think that's what you're saying, aren't you, Darren?
Yeah, that's right.
Good. Does that make sense, Tom?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it's just we've got days to think about it in this, but you've got green, 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 and yes, you're in, and and then it does a pullback red, and then it goes green again. Well, if I have confidence in this strategy of this movement, at least to 3/4 or somewhere there, then my head is saying, why wouldn't I actually take another trade? That's all. That's all I'm saying. And
What is your criteria for taking another trade, though?
I think what you were saying as well. First things first would be trend bar change. And if I get a trend bar change, then I'm going to be looking at, for example, as you said, from the last short to the short high to the low, and then seeing what did it do. And maybe also too, what some of the other GBPs are doing at the same time as well will help the decision-making process.
See, so I'm already in this one.
Yeah.
And I'm taking trades like you guys are, multiple trades.
Yeah.
Except I'm doing it a little bit differently than you guys are, because I'm setting up where it says, I think that's 0 to 1/4. It's hard to see on my little screen. Down at the bottom.
Yeah. It's gone from 0. It's gone up through the
okay. So right there is the quarter
to the half, back
right
to the quarter, and back up to the half.
Right. So I already have a trade set up. My second trade. Except it's at the 0 to 1/4 as a limit.
Oh yeah, yep.
Now if it pushes up, fantastic. I got my good trade.
Yeah.
And if it pulls back taps me in, I'll get 2 trades.
Yeah, okay.
So then when it gets up to halfway mark, again, I will set up another trade once it passes the halfway mark, another limit trade from half to the quarter.
But and so you're taking buys and sells.
No, I'm taking buys.
Only buys. Okay, no, I just need to clarify.
So each section.
So you're only taking buys. Okay.
So each section has its own buys in it.
Yeah.
It's just got to come back to trigger me in.
Yeah, it's got to.
If it doesn't come back, fantastic.
Because you have a limit in place, and if it doesn't activate the limit, it doesn't matter. It's still going in the trend direction that you want. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I think Darren's a lot more conservative. I'm conservative, and then you're a little less, Tom. You're doing that, but it doesn't mean you're less safe on it. You've still got your limits.
Actually, I think that's more conservative.
Yours, do you think?
Yeah, because now it has to come back and do what I want in order for it to trigger me in.
Yeah, true. Maybe it is. Maybe you're Mr. Ultra Conservative then.
No, I wouldn't say that.
All right. Well, we'll just see.
Something to think about.
Yeah, no, it is.
Because you guys have a green light. There's your long.
Yeah, I know.
So it should never come back, right?
Well, it will eventually, but until we profit, it shouldn't come back. That's right. That's exactly right.
Right. So if it turns,
but we're hoping for it to go to a point that it will come back, so we'll get another trade.
Right. But if you look at it, you already broke structure.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
So as long as it doesn't beat that green candle that created the long at the bottom, it's going to push up again.
Oh, that here. Yeah, correct.
So if you have a limit order here at the quarter and it just pushes, oh, look, it just turned red. That candle just turned red. So if it pushes down and doesn't break this green low, but it's going to tap you in for the long.
Yeah. But also too, at this point, it well, it it would be it potentially not break this long. See the long it only just like yesterday's long, the day candle yesterday.
Right.
And then
Correct.
yeah,
All I'm saying is, if this is going to keep pushing,
yeah.
it's going to come back and tap that 3/4 or somewhere close to it
Are you in the
at the
25 or the
at the
75?
25.
Yeah, the 25. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
No,
So by
no. This
putting a
may
limit
push, it
order
may
there,
push up to 75 and then back to the 50 before it goes back up.
that's
That's
right.
another. Yeah.
That's right. So I'm saying if you have a limit order here at the quarter,
Yeah.
and let's
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
it doesn't push back and keep pushing,
It doesn't,
up,
it doesn't matter.
and then you just slide your limit up to the halfway point, let it
Yeah.
tap there and continue up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
you're picking up 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4 trades.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, you're using that. I'm using, okay. All right. No
Does that make
worries.
sense?
Yeah. Perfect
Okay.
sense. Yeah. You're using that because yeah. Okay. No worries.
Yeah, because it goes
Yeah.
up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Of
You're just
course it
pointing
does.
direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm letting the price do all the work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least today, looks like today's a bit of a non-event, really. It's going up and down. It's like it's just sitting in the same spot um, at the moment. All right. You're still in that trade, Darren. I never got into that because it was a bit later than what this we were talking about the new strategy more than anything. Right. GU, same thing. The US dollar has strengthened up a little bit over the last 24 hours. You'll see that, but you profited at the 3/4. You're waiting for it to come to the outside of the rail. But you have your second trade or the second half or whatever at break even anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
And for me, I would have moved it up to here. I don't know if that's break even or not, but below that, because it would have, yeah. Anyway, very nice. Positive trade. That's good. Right, NZDs. Let's go through these. NCAD. Oh, you don't like that, Tom. That's not good.
No, that is literally exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, pull back so you and then got a limit for it to go back up. Oh no, you're in a sell.
No, I'm already in 2.
Okay.
So now I'm setting up my third.
Whoa. Okay. Mm. So this is not a good example because, well, from Darren, my point of view, there's nothing outside the rail, but see, you get a red change and then you get that green, and now this is what you're talking about, Tom. I'm just using that trend bar as an example. That goes red again. That's another trade in. But it's not a trade from, but for me, I have green triangle, I have trend bar change. It would have been into that trade. Profit at 3/4 back, it would have had break even. That would have been a trade for me, but not for you, Darren, because it hasn't come outside. Right.
Just put on my third trade.
NZD CHF again, another CHF that just languishes around inside the rails. NJ, I'm in 2 trades on this one. Came out, gave us that, hasn't given a longbow, right? Has gone red on the trend bar. Again, let me see. You wouldn't have got into this, Darren, without a long,
No.
would you?
No.
No. Okay. So I'm the outlier here. Hanging my tail out in the wind.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, a couple of pullbacks. We'll just anyway see what goes down. Yeah, I've got 2 trades on that, 3/4 and stuff, but without a long. Okay, NZD USD. Right, not out to the other side of the rail still, and again the US dollar has strengthened, so the New Zealand dollar pull back down again. Singapore Japanese yen, I'm in this with 2 trades. We got this outside the rail, we got the long, we got the trend bar change, it's gone red. Here's another example of potentially. Let's see what happens. We get a push back up and get a green trend bar. We can look at probably there. It went up to half. It might even come back a little bit further before it pushes. Anyway, we'll see. Just an example. Now, here's a couple to look at, Darren. UCAD. What are we going to do? We have a green triangle. I saw this yesterday. We got a green triangle. Sorry?
Needs to push down a bit further for me.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. It just depends. The US dollar is strengthening a little bit over a few, but not significantly. And we don't have a trend bar change at all. Yeah, you need it outside the rail further. That's fair enough too. But for me, I don't. All I need is a trend bar change. We will see. Sitting and waiting. She's on the pink list at the moment, this one. But it is a very unpredictable UCAD. It's like Euro USD. It's like AUD NZD, like Euro GBP.
Yep.
They're just bloody messy. Messy ones. All right, USD CHF sitting in the middle, same sort of CHF rubbish. Anyway, you would have been in here for quite a period of time. But that would have been a stop out there too. So, don't like that one. UJ is the one, how's this? It comes down, stops it out. And what does it do, Darren? Pulls back up again. Hey? How dare it? Like that's just not, it's not kosher, really, is it?
No.
The triangle disappears, trend bar changes. Like, what rubbish? All right, waiting for a long at some point, and we'll see whether it breaks down past the low. Anyway, that one, I'll double 2 losses on that one. And now the other one is USD and Singapore. It's just the same as UCAD. Well, sorry, similar to UCAD. There is no triangle low. I think there was. There was a triangle actually. Disappeared. Depends. It may come further back down again, Darren, to give us a triangle, but this is one that I've been watching. Again, I sort of need a triangle. I've used that as a part of the rule, but we'll see. Anyway, it's on the pink list because it's sitting outside here at the moment. Gold is pushing back up again. It's on my pink list as well, but trend bar is just green. It's not changing. And silver also has done the same thing. It's on the green, but on the pinky, but it's not outside the rail at all. So both of those will potentially take a bit of a dive. Bitcoin's pull back down. It's still in that sort of 90 range from that point of view. And oil has pulled back slightly, but nothing significant really. It's still got a red trend bar. So you've already taken one trade and the second part is still sitting there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's our day for the minute, our Wednesday. I value the fact that we can have a bit of a discussion to see whether this may work or that may work or what thoughts. That, Darren, your point of move and stop loss was a very good point on that. If you're going to take something another trade, so we'll just see what those JPYs do to us, or to me anyway. You're in a couple. I was just going to say, for example, this AJ here, even though it didn't, I don't know, I need to consider some of this. I'm still got this firm. Look at this. It didn't come outside the rail, have a triangle and pushed up the 3/4. Here didn't give a triangle, but it did push up and come back. So it's in a similar situation to all the other JPYs. But we'll see. We will see. It's not really, as I said, decided not to, just like CADJ as well. CADJ did a similar thing where it came out, no triangle, pulled back to, and then went off as a long. So we'll see. And AUD, NZD, let's see if it pushes out to that outside with this current news. That would be nice. It's been languishing for a while. Anything else? Any other bits of news or?
No, I'm good.
No? The craziness continues, huh? And some of the market will just flatline a bit while uncertainty sits there.
Something fun.
Sorry?
Apparently,
Yeah.
now that Elon Musk has gone into Social Security, people are now claiming it's been compromised and everything on the credit report is fraud. And people are listing things as fraud back from the time when credit started for them. And the credit bureaus are wiping it all out because they can't argue that it's not fraud. So people are getting 800 scores that previously had like 530 scores.
Right.
And so now people are saying the moment he touches the IRS, we will never owe taxes again because now it's been compromised and there's nothing but fraud and we don't know what is real and what is not. And it's like, how big a bite are you guys going to take before it just collapses? Because if nobody's paying taxes, because as far as I'm concerned, I already paid my taxes. What do you mean it's not there? What do you mean my information isn't right? Everything's fraud now. So they're basically, the IRS and the credit bureaus are now in full-blown panic mode.
Create confusion. That's just
they're gonna just like Trump went in and fired 285 air traffic controllers, and all these planes started dropping out of the air. And now Elon Musk is saying, don't worry, SpaceX is going to step in and solve all the problems. So they caused the problem, let people die. Now they're going to fix the problem by privatizing it. They'll pay minimum wage. Air traffic controllers make good money. I mean, they make really good money. And they're going to privatize it and cut it down to a minimum wage job.
And employ the same people. They probably won't work for it. But anyway.
No, they won't. They won't work for that money.
They'll have people that are not skilled. Anyway,
yeah,
and
exactly.
don't have the experience.
Right.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad I live here. Tell you.
I would live there too, but I'm afraid to fly there now.
You'll be fine.
Mm.
Once you get to the ground, it's all fine. Yeah. Well, apparently you can flip them upside down, some of these American
Isn't that
planes.
amazing?
And people still survive. They still haven't
Yeah.
shown any video of it.
I've
Of it
seen
actually
one.
happening.
There is one out there now. Yeah, I've seen one. somebody's
So what did it do? It just
somebody's
like
watching.
flipped on top of on its
It's
top.
weird. It looks as though it lands normally, just from the video I've seen. It's
Yeah.
not that clear. It just lands and then flips over. It's bizarre, actually. I don't know.
It's like what the wind gets it or
There's nothing odd looking as its approach on its approach.
yeah.
Hits the ground and then flips over, bursts into flames.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah. People getting out and stuff.
But everybody
Well,
got out.
apparently there's some people that are critically injured too in that
Yeah.
hole. So, but yeah. Well, they say people survive, but still, if you got a critical injury, it's like or a injury that's going to impair you for the rest of your life. That's not so good. Yeah. Yeah. Well. All right. Until tomorrow, I better get going. I'm going. Got a charter today. I got to do a pool run, so I better keep myself organized.
All right.
All right.
Take
Well.
care.
No.